Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss about startups in the space of on-the-go healthy snacks market and protein-rich product market. In this space, we are going to particularly focus about healthy bars and protein bars. So lately, you have been observing that there are so many people around you who would be becoming more and more health conscious. Health conscious in terms of their exercise routine, health conscious in terms of their food choices. So there is a big spectrum of people in terms of their food choices. On one hand, you have people who are saying, I will eat vegan, homemade, high protein, high fiber, less fat food. While on the other hand, someone is saying, now I won't eat fried food. I will eat packet food, but which is roasted, which is no palm oil. And in between of the spectrum, there are so many different categories of people who have been having different type of specific food choices. So when we try to see all of these different type of people would create a different market demand. And there are so many options available in market, from protein bars to healthy snacks to granola bars, protein shakes, and so on. But why is it so much right now? 10-15 years ago, if you would have seen this market barely existed. So what changed? People were still busy back then. People still got hungry. People worked late hours. People traveled for long hours. But everything was the same. But this market didn't exist. Why is that? What changed? What suddenly changed? Would you say people started becoming more healthy? Maybe, but I think there is more to it, because if it was being healthy, these people would eat, more healthy food at home. They would avoid going to restaurants, which is not happening. People are still going to restaurants. People are still ordering late night snacks. People are still having unhealthy food, but they are still open to consume protein bars. So clearly there is something else here. So then what is it about? Let's zoom into a very particular moment. So suppose, for example, you are in office, it's 5 p.m. You're working, you're a little tired, you are a little hungry, not that much to have a full meal, but also you cannot wait. So now you are looking for something which is small portion size. And here's where this gets interesting, because you're not just thinking about hunger, that what food should I eat. You're also thinking that I don't want to eat unhealthy food. Yesterday I ate something unhealthy, but today I want to eat something which is healthy. And so it is no longer a food decision. Now it is a self judgment which is around, like, to have less guilt, more discipline, more focus towards health and convenience, all in one single decision. So you are trying to avoid making a bad decision. You are trying to eat faster, eat better, feel less guilty, and not, be tricked by all these marketing. Because, like, you see the package and you don't understand, like, if even if it is mentioned healthy, you would be like, what is this? Like, is it really healthy? So now it comes to a different problem. So traditionally, the traditional snacks which we consume, they are tasty, but they also make you feel bloated. They also make you have a little discomfort and builds guilt. On the other hand, the healthier alternatives, sometimes they are very confusing. You don't understand what it is. Sometimes it is very difficult to make in the moment, and at 5 o'clock in the office. So you want something which would feel quick, acceptable, safe, not perfect, something you don't have to think about. And that's where this category quietly enters, of the protein bar and healthy bars. So at first glance, you would think that this category is about nutrition, ingredients, protein, but that it's not the case. The real shift is in the moment where you pick one, eat one, and you don't have to think about it. You don't have to second guess, you don't have to regret. And that is the feeling is more valuable than it looks, because this doesn't happen once in a while. It would happen every day, twice a day for few people. And in that, it's either you would think, what will I eat, what is healthy, what is this, that, or you would just quickly pick up and eat a protein bar. So it's this market is not only about being healthy or eating healthy options. It is about reducing the repeated frictions which people are facing in their day-to-day life about the food they eat. And that is how this protein bar has become a 7,000 crore market in India. Not by changing the way or what people eat, but by changing how they decide. And that's where this thing gets more interesting, because this kind of opportunities are in so many places, where people are not struggling loudly, but people are suffering or thinking quietly a little too much every single day. So, if you are a startup founder or someone who is aspiring to build a startup or a business, the question for you to think is, what are people deciding that doesn't need to feel this hard? So, please do share your thoughts in the comment, and thank you so much for watching this video.